friends, Heidi here from Rain Country Homestead. God is good all the time. Today I want to show you how you can make your own all-natural toothpaste or tooth powder. So I'm going to give you a couple of different recipes that you can work with. So let's get to it. All right, the first one I'm going to show you is the tooth powder recipe that I use. So what you're going to want to start with is about, I always use these little quarter pint jars. So that's a half cup. So what I'm going to start with is a half cup of baking soda. Now, this particular one, I personally only use a couple times a week because I've read, and some people may not have an issue with this, and the rest of my family uses this particular recipe, but I've read and heard that long-term use of baking soda for brushing your teeth, like you do it every day, several times a day, can actually be a little too abrasive on the teeth, causing micro scratches that then eventually cause your teeth to gray. Now, I've been using the baking soda for a long time and haven't seen any issue. In fact, my teeth have been, since I got away from regular toothpaste years ago, my teeth have actually been cleaner and whiter, and we haven't been to the dentist in years. And we used to go twice a year for a cleaning. All right, so there's the baking soda. I use the fork to break up the clumps. Now, this is just optional. I like to add these just for a way to get extra magnesium and calcium because it is going to get absorbed through the gums, the gum line and all that. So use about a teaspoon of magnesium and, whoops, this is way farther down there, about a teaspoon of calcium. Now, what you'll find, because of the magnesium, is this will give it a very fizzy texture in your mouth. So just keep that in mind. I actually like it. It's kind of fun. And then, again, this is non-therapeutic grade oil. If you're using a therapeutic grade oil, you're going to want to only use 1 or 2 drops. But since this is the Now Foods, it's not that strong. I use a whole capful. You may want to, even if you're using this, you may want to use even less than that. I like things pretty strong. So I put a whole capful in. Just pour it in there and take my fork and mix it up. The other essential oils I really like to use in my toothpaste and tooth powder are clove, wintergreen. Oh, there's one more and I forgot. You can do a little bit of oregano, but you want, again, very, very tiny bit of oregano or it will burn. You just want to make sure that you break it up really good. Get that peppermint oil or whatever oil you're using mixed in there real good. And then you'll pour it into your jar like this. But I'm not going to do that right now with this. This is just so I can show you how to make the powder. Now, the simplest thing you can do for a paste, if you like it, get this, is nothing but coconut oil. And I've done that a lot. And I'll just brush with coconut oil. And my teeth have been whiter and cleaner than they have in a very long time, just simply using coconut oil. However, I do like that extra bit of flavor and then the magnesium and calcium. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So again, what I'm going to do, I've got some melted coconut oil here. This is virgin coconut oil, so it still has the coconut flavor and scent in it, and it's organic. I'm going to pour that in there. I don't want to get it too full. I'm going to add, and I'm just going ahead and mixing this right in here. Again, same amount, a teaspoon and a teaspoon, magnesium and calcium. And then, again, another capful of the peppermint. This is the one I use most of the time. And then the powder I'll use a couple of times a week. So, I got my little fork here, so now I'm stirring that in there. Oops, and I'm spilling it because that's the way I do things. That's how I roll. It's making messes. Anyway, you just want to keep mixing it. And then as this cools and the coconut oil starts to solidify, you'll want to keep coming back and stirring this during the process. Because otherwise the calcium and the magnesium will settle to the bottom. So you'll just want to keep doing that, and then find yourself a nice little cap. I used to have a label on this, but it was getting too icky, so I took it off. In fact, I got to finish cleaning it off. And then I'm just going to write my name in permanent ink here. And so we each one in the family has their own jar with a lid with their name on it. And everybody's is made a little bit different. Now, you can add to your powder or even to your coconut, to the paste, you can add a little packet of stevia. I prefer not to use it. I put it in theirs. The problem I have with stevia is really hard to find a good tasting one to add to this that's not been processed. Or at least I haven't found one yet, but I haven't looked real hard because it's not that important to me. But stevia really needs to be green. If it's white, it's processed. And look who makes it. The company can make a difference. So you want to watch what you're buying, even in stevia. It might say it's natural, but it's not. If it's white, it's not natural. So anyway, I want to say a couple other things. Is, let me go ahead and move this up. Is right in here I have Bentonite Clay. This also is really good for brushing your teeth with by itself, but you want to use a teeny tiny bit on your toothbrush if you're going to use it as a powder, or you're going to want to blend it with water first. Start with a tiny bit, like maybe a teaspoon, and then keep adding water to it until you get it to a paste that you want. Because Bentonite Clay is very absorbent. However, because of that, that's some of the properties that makes it great for a lot of things, taking internally and using for brushing your teeth and whatever, because it pulls all the toxins out of your system. This is great for making your own clay masks for your skin and all kinds of things. So look into Bentonite Clay. And I better add this. I'm not a doctor, so nothing I say is meant to, and I'm not a dentist either. This is not meant to replace medical advice. I'm just, again, showing you what we do around here to live more frugally and healthy. There was one more thing I wanted to say about the coconut oil, whether you use the coconut oil plain, just as is, or even like this, and how I do it. Now, some of you may have heard of oil pulling, and if you're following my channel, you probably have. I do a combination. So what I do is I'll brush for a while, you know, just, you don't want to brush hard. It's actually not a good idea to brush hard. Just brush gently all the way around, and I'll walk around and do stuff, and I'll do that for like 5 minutes. And then I'll take the toothbrush out, and then I'll spend another 10 to 20 minutes just letting the coconut oils and all the goodies that are in there swish around in my mouth while I'm doing chores and stuff. And then I go and I have certain places outside that I'll spit it out. I don't, like with the Bentonite Clay, you don't want to spit this down your sink, and it's really not a good idea to spit the coconut oil down your sink either if you don't want things to clog. So I always spit that stuff outside. You can keep a cup or something next to your sink if you want to do it that way, and then go find a special place to dump it. I just walk outside, and I have a couple places where I'll spit it out. So anyway, the coconut or the oil pulling is another excellent way to have a really good, clean dental hygiene. I mean, it's done wonders for my teeth and gums, and I never get plaque buildup or tartar buildup. And like I said, we used to go to the dentist twice a year to get our teeth cleaned, and now we don't do it at all, and my teeth are cleaner than they were back then. All right, so there you go. A few different recipes for you to try, and just play with the amounts and find out what works best for you. And again, this is the coconut oil with the magnesium, calcium, and essential oil is my personal favorite. But you may prefer the powder, like the rest of my family. They like the powder best. And I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something new. And thanks for watching. God bless.